haven't made one of these in a while, but I decided to make another video because I'm going to make something that I used to make a long time ago when you were a teenager, and it's something that we are fond of, and that's pupusas. You probably remember it's an El Salvadorian dish, and I learned it when I was teaching ESL. Had a student from there, and anyway, so this is actually going to be 3 recipes. There's the pupusa itself, there's a tomato sauce that goes on top, and then there's a cabbage thing that you put on top too, curtido. So I'm going to start with the tomato sauce because that needs to be done. Well, actually both of these, this and the curtido, need to be done ahead of time. Let's start with the tomato sauce. It's a simple tomato sauce, and it has tomatoes. It's, the recipe said some tomatoes, but it's 1 bell pepper. And so I thought, well, that's ridiculous. You can't have some tomatoes. Anyway, so I have these huge tomatoes from the store. I bought 4 of them. I was gonna make it with 3, but one of them is kind of, half of it's gone. I don't want to show you the half that's gone. Not very good. So I'm gonna cut it in half, and whatever I can use from that one, I'm gonna put with these, so it'll be like 3.5. Also a medium onion, and like I said, a bell pepper, some cilantro, we'll see how much we need, and a couple of garlic cloves. So if you're like me, you don't really like dealing with garlic, but it's so good you have to. So I recently bought a bag of peeled garlic from the Korean supermarket, and they live in my freezer. And I just recently discovered that my tool, my garlic mashing tool, like I gave you one of, it works just fine with frozen ones. So maybe I've really hit on an easy way to do garlic. More on that later. That's all we need besides salt and pepper. So I'm going to start cutting it up and show you how we make this sauce. Okay, so I have my tomatoes, 3.5. Here's the one I cut in half. I'm gonna wait about this because the first thing we have to do is remove the peeling. So I'm gonna show you, in case I haven't already, how I do this. I have a little pot of boiling water, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place the potatoes one at a time in the boiling water and leave them for 1 minute, and then I'm gonna take them out and put them in. See this ice? I need to put some water in there, ice water, because I want to, after I remove the skin, or after I loosen the skin, I'm going to put the tomatoes in the ice water so it'll stop cooking, and it should be very easy to remove the peeling. So here we go. I have this nifty spider scooper, I don't know what it's called. I'm gonna put it in gently and set the timer for 1 minute. Okay, oh, you can't even see it. Here it is. I'm gonna put this back on to make it boil again. You know, putting the lid on will make what's in the pot heat up faster. So, put it back to boiling. And I'll go ahead and put some water in my bowl here with the ice. And it's boiling. So, we've got about 20 more seconds. 20 seconds is done. So, I'm gonna just fish, oops, that's not gonna work. I have this very thin, kind of tall, skinny pot, which is perfect for this, except that the spider thing doesn't fit. And I'm going to need to put some more water in this because it doesn't cover the tomato. Okay, and that's what I'm going to do with the rest of them. Just boil it for 1 minute and then stick it over in the ice water. So here we go. There's 1 minute. And I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Okay, here they are. And this is the first one. I just kind of stabbed it because there weren't any broken parts of the skin, so I stabbed it with a sharp knife, and it peels nicely, as you can see. So I'm just gonna remove the peeling. There's a little piece right here. Okay. Okay, so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm gonna do that with all of these, and then I'll come back. So this is the second one. I thought I'd just show you what I did. This one's also not gotten broken skin, so I'm going to just jab it a little bit and peel. Once you break into it, it's easy to peel. That's why we boil it for a minute. They're all peeled. Now we have to take out the stem if you have any of this left. And just, cut it around like that, and there you go. And there's one more. Okay, and now I'm going to get rid of this stuff, and we're just going to roughly chop those. All right, chopping time. And here we go. I'm not going to remove seeds or anything. I'm just going to cut it. And it doesn't have to be teeny tiny bits because we are going to put this in a food processor after it cooks a bit. So just cut them up. Okay, I got the tomatoes chopped. That's quite a lot of tomatoes, but it'll be good. Now I need to do an onion. It's my least favorite thing to chop, but at least I don't have to do it really tiny. So I'm gonna peel it and chop it big like that. So the onion I'm gonna cut a little smaller because I think it's gonna take longer to cook. So just maybe half an inch, I don't know. Cut it up. And put it in with the tomatoes in the pot. Next, we have our garlic. Cut off the stems. It's looking a little weird because it's thawing out. It's fine. It just looks a little almost translucent. So here's the masher. I don't know what you call this thing. Anyway, we're gonna do this. And put that in here. Hate to waste. Oh, if you could see me now, you would see tears rolling down my face because of the onions. Glad you can't see me. Okay, there's that. And then bell pepper. So I saw this trick on Facebook. They have everything on Facebook. So I just cut down the grooves, from the sections. Sometimes there's 4. This one's got 3. I don't know why. But if it works the way it does on Facebook, then I'll peel these and all the seeds will be left in the middle. I have a feeling it's not going to be perfect, but let's see. Yeah, See? All right. Actually, not bad. Here's this one. Just almost all the seeds came out. And here's this one. Not bad. That one's got a lot. I'm going to take it over to the compost bin and dig that out. And then I'm just going to chop these up like the rest, and boy, I might have to get another pot. This one's pretty full. We'll see. Okay, that worked pretty well. These little bits are pieces that were clinging to the very top, and rather than waste them, I just pulled them off. And I got all the seeds out. So, there's that. Okay, and then we have these, and I just do it like this. Sometimes I just do it like this, so I'm not cutting all the way through, and it sticks, you know, to itself. You can tell I don't have a script, can't you? When I do my grammar videos, I have a script. So I'm not all over the place with, you know, what I'm explaining. You'll forgive me. All right, so there's that. Chop it like this. And ordinarily I would chop finer than this, but like I said, it's going in the food processor, so who cares? I just want it to cook. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a larger pot. God, this is gonna make a lot of sauce. Okay, so I'm gonna put this in here. I'm going to get a larger pot, saucepan, and I'll cut these up and add them. And I'll see you in a minute. And there it is, in a bigger pot with all of the things chopped. So now, this is optional, but I am a big fan of cilantro. It doesn't taste like soap to me. So I'm just gonna take a bunch, you know, however much I feel like. Actually, I might just use more. So I'm gonna rinse this, and I'm gonna chop it, and I'm gonna put it in there, and we'll see. Okay, so I rinsed the cilantro, and here's what I do. And this might be kind of nuts. I think people who use this a lot just chop up the stems and everything. I want the leaves. So I'm just gonna snap off most of the stem and just cut up the leaves. I mean, if you get a little bit of stem, it's no big deal. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, that's better. So, okay, so I've taken all the leaves off, and I went ahead and threw in the rest of the cilantro. I'm not gonna bother to chop it because, like I said, this thing's going in the food processor. So let's put it all in there. And, oh yeah, there's one more thing I have to add, which is, if you have some bouillon, you know, cubes that are vegetarian, you can use that. I'm gonna use this, this Chinese chicken flavoring, just 1 teaspoonful. Boom. And I believe that is everything. Might need some water. Oh yeah, it does say put a little water in there. So I'm just gonna put a little water in, however much a little is. I don't know, maybe a splash from my melted water. That was probably a couple tablespoons worth, maybe as much as 1/4 of a cup. But anyway, I'm gonna put this on the stove and cook it for about 10 minutes. Something like that. the recipe I have, I'm not sure exactly where it came from, but it doesn't say how long to cook it. It just says cook it and then blend it and then cook it for 10 minutes. So let's try 10 or 15 minutes like this, and we'll see how it goes. So medium temperature. Actually, I'm going to start with a medium high. I cleaned my stove, and now the gas doesn't want to light. Happens sometimes. All right, I'll put it on a different burner. I don't have time to fool with that. Believe it or not, I'm gonna have to go to the store. I had some masa flour in the freezer. It's disappeared. I gotta go get another bag. But I'll do that after I take care of this and the curtito. So while I'm heating that up and cooking it for a few minutes, I'm going to get the ingredients ready for the curtito, and then I'll show them to you. Okay then, ready for the curtito. Okay, had to get my list of ingredients. I want to show you what goes in it, and it's pretty basic. And by basic, I mean the old definition. Basic, simple, nothing fancy. So we're going to start off with half a head of cabbage. This was a beautiful, fresh, huge cabbage. So half is kind of a lot, but that's what I have. And also put a carrot in, and you can peel it if you want to. I don't peel my carrots. I mean, unless they're really weird and gross. This one's pretty good. I washed it and kind of scrubbed it with my hand, or you can scrub it with a brush. Anyway, 1 carrot, 3 scallions, and a little bit of water. Oh yeah, and, okay, this is huge. It's just plain old white vinegar. Basic. All right, vinegar. What else? We're gonna have a little bit of crushed red pepper. I think this is optional. Is it optional? Well, it doesn't say optional, but you know, if you don't like it, don't put it. And oregano. I could get some fresh oregano from my garden, but I just don't feel like fooling with it right now. I'm gonna use dried. You can use either. And a little bit of water, and that's it. So the first thing I'm gonna do is shred using the food processor. I'm gonna shred the cabbage and the carrot. And then I'm going to show you a nifty trick if you're lucky and you can find a tool like this. I got this in Korea. It was a peeler, but this blade is gone, but I kept it for these blades, and I'll show you how nifty that is a little later. Create the suspense. I was just about to show you me grating the cabbage. Here's the cabbage. Only I came over here and showed you my Cuisinart and my, actually it's a shredder. It's not a grater. So I'm going to use my regular blade, you know, this guy. And if you don't have a food processor, it's okay. You can use one of those metal box graters. That'll be fine. I'm just gonna, instead of grating, I'm just gonna chop it pretty fine. I have to do this with the cabbage and the, what is that thing? Carrot. And here I go. I'll show you when I'm done. I'm gonna start off by cutting chunks. Okay, now I'm gonna put that in and chop it up, and then I'll use go to the cabbage. I think I'm gonna do a little bit at a time. So, I mean, this is a very little. When I get to this, maybe half of this at a time. Oop, gotta go. Okay, so the tomatoes have been cooking for 10 or 12 minutes, something like that. And this is what it looks like. Now, it is a large pan, a large saucepan. And I need to put it in the food processor. And I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to do it all in one go, but we'll see. So, here's the food processor fitted with the regular blade. So let's see how much I can get in here. It's kind of juicy, but it's not, like totally. So we're gonna just put that in there. You can see, oh, maybe you can't. Now you can see it's very hot. I guess I could have left it a few minutes, but I'm actually going between the tomato sauce and the curtido. And actually, yeah, this is gonna work. Ta-da! Awesome. I'm mixing, going back and forth with these recipes, but I'm planning on putting them consecutive, like one at a time on the video. We'll see how that works too. So, I'm gonna pulse. It doesn't have to be completely, blended into oblivion. I'm seeing some kind of large pieces of onion, and I'd like it to be more uniform. Well, so here's what I'm going to do to fix that. I'm going to stir it a little bit. You know what? I'm going to go with this. This is fine. So I'm going to put it back in the pot, and then I'm going to cook it for at least 10 more minutes. The tomato sauce is all nicely blended. It's, well, let me show you. Here it is in the pot. And see the consistency? You can see little bits of the different things, but they're pretty little bits. So I'm going to turn this back on to medium high, put the lid on it, bring it to a boil, and then I'm going to turn it down to simmer, and we'll simmer it for 10 minutes. So there's that. Meanwhile, no, I'm not Stephen Colbert. The tomato sauce is simmering. See? It's not a full rolling boil. So I'm going to turn that down to medium. It's only on medium high. So I'm going to leave the lid off to simmer it. I'll set the timer for 10 minutes and see if that works. The reason I'm not putting the lid on is I want some of that water to evaporate. I want a little bit thicker sauce. So I've got that going, and now, Okay, so I've got my cabbage and carrot. Now I'm going to pour in 4 cups of boiling water. And I'll stir that up a bit. We're going to just let this sit for about 5 minutes. It'll soften up the vegetables, and I don't know what else it'll do, but it's good. The tomato sauce has cooked for 10 minutes, and it's still a little bit runny for my taste. Let me show you, see what you think. See, it's still simmering because I didn't turn it off. It's a little bit juicier than I want. So I'm gonna let it cook for a few more minutes, maybe 5 more minutes. I don't want it thick, but I don't want it runny either. So 5 more minutes. All right, the curtido is sitting for 5 minutes. It's actually going to be done at the same time as the tomato sauce, but I'm not going to talk about the tomato sauce now because this is the curtido part. So I'm going to get the things ready. After this sits for 5 minutes, I'm going to add the rest of the ingredients, stir it up, and that's it. So let's get the other ingredients ready. First thing, 3 scallions. Yeah, let me move things around a little bit. There we go. You can see I am not a professional videographer. Never claimed to be. Gonna take off these roots. And I'm gonna check and see if, yeah, I should clean up the ends. Alrighty, get rid of that. Okay. So these are supposed to be minced. That's not real easy normally, but I have this nifty tool. As you can see, there are 6 blades, and one side is sharp and the other side is not. See there? Here's the sharp end. All right, so all we're gonna do is we're gonna start on one end, being careful not to cut our fingers. Go down all the way for the entire length of scallions. So I'm gonna do that with all 3 of them. And this will make it easier to get the finer cuts. I wonder if you can find one of these on Amazon. I bet you can. Okay, so again, I like to take shortcuts whenever possible. Just gonna cut that. And then I have half as much to cut. And I'm gonna try to get it minced, small. Kind of messy. But see what a cool little tool that is? I bet I could find one in a Korean market here in Southern California. Voila. There we go. There's that. And I have some vinegar. It's going to be sort of a pickled thing. Actually, it is a pickled thing. That's my vinegar. But right now, we just have to wait for 5 minutes for both things. Let's look at the, oh yeah, I'm not supposed to show you the tomato sauce. I'm not going to show you the tomato sauce. I'll show you the tomato sauce when we get to the tomato sauce section. Just stirring it. You know what I forgot to say? You need to stir this from time to time. I'll try to remember to put a note in the video about it. See you in a few. Guess what? That was 4 seconds ago. I just turned off the timer and turned off the stove under the tomato sauce. Let's take a look. There it is. And that's fine. Now I'm just gonna leave it with the top off so some of that moisture will evaporate out. And that'll be just fine. Now, oh, hang on. Okay, here's where we're going to drain the curtido. And here it is. Got to get rid of that water. I'm going to let that sit for a minute while I prepare the scallion. Oh, I did prepare the scallions. What am I talking about? So, I just want all of that water to get out. And it needs to drip a little bit. So, let me check the recipe and see what else goes in here. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put in the scallions in the bowl. Maybe you don't want to watch cabbage and carrot drain. That doesn't sound very fun. So come on over here. And we've got this. And here's the scallions. Okay. And this is the vinegar. I'll just put that in. I'm going to mix it all up. And I need a half cup of water also. There's that. And I'm going to go ahead and get the cabbage and carrot. Just dump it in. Okay, stir it up. And then I gotta go see what else I need in this. I know I'm gonna need salt. And I'm pretty sure pepper goes in it. Oh, I forgot. Ah, yes, I did forget. I need 2 teaspoonsful of oregano, and guess what? I have to go fill my jar. Shoot. Anyway, 2 teaspoons of oregano and a teaspoon of crushed red pepper. Thank you, Mr. Penzi, for your excellent herbs and spices. So, got a teaspoon here. And I know that this is about a teaspoon, so if I'm cooking something like this, I don't have to have a measuring spoon. I know what it is. It's still a teaspoon. It's just I've been cooking long enough to know what a teaspoon looks like. So there's that. Now, I'm gonna stop the video, stop the camera, not the video, well, the video too, and go get some more oregano. So I'm gonna plug a company. I don't do this normally, but this is Penzi Spices, and they have marvelous herbs and spices. Not only that, but if you're a Democrat like me, you'll like Bill Penzi. He cares about the country, and I'm not going to get political, but I do have this, and I wanted to show you this. So we have all these very nice jars. That's how you get it the first time. But there's no point in, amassing jars or throwing jars away when you can get refill bags from Penzi's. So I'm going to fill the jar up. But first, I'm just going to take it out of this 2 teaspoonfuls. Here we go. There's our curtido. And all right, need the scissors. If you don't keep a pair of scissors in the kitchen, you're missing out. There's all kind of stuff like this you need scissors for. There you go. too. By the way, I told you I know what a teaspoon looks like, and I use this. There is one situation where I do not use this. I use real measuring spoons, and that's when I'm baking, especially like a cake or something. They're more particular, those cakes, and so you need to be more exact. But for something like this is good. All right, here we go. Stir that up. Nice, huh? All right, let's see if there's anything else I'm supposed to put in here. Nope, that's it. So now, gonna do like the old cooking shows used to do and taste it on camera. Whoa, that's good. Woo! Wake up my throat. You might want a little salt. It's up to you. I think I'm gonna leave mine. That's done. That's done. Now, I have to get on with making the pupusas. I gotta tell you, I thought I was gonna have to go to the store because I couldn't find it. I had a bag of masa for a long time. I thought it was in the freezer because I usually keep that kind of stuff in the freezer because I don't use it very often. And then I found this. Woohoo! I have what I need. Masa flour. So hang on. I'm gonna gather my ingredients for the pupusas and we're gonna bring this thing home. And now for the pupusas. We're gonna mix the dough. Here's my bowl. Same one I made the curtido in. I just put it in something else. And here's my masa. So masa, you know, instant masa. I know that there is a kind you can buy that's like a dough already. I've never seen those. This is what I always use, the powder. So here we go. Whoa, a little extra. All right, that's not the best way to do this. Let's do this another way. I have scoops for my flour. I'm just going to use a 1/4 cup for this. And a lovely straight edge. Okay. I want 2 cups of this. It's kind of heavy, you know, unlike wheat flour. Okay. All right. 2 cups of masa and a little bit of a mess. That's all right. I know how to clean up. So there's that. And I have 1 1/3 cups of water. Put that in there. And I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of butter-flavored olive oil from 41 Olive. You don't have to use this. You could use butter. You could use plain olive oil. You could use any kind of oil, you know, well, not any kind of oil, not motor oil, but you could use canola oil or grapeseed oil. But I like this because it gives you just a little flavor here, a little flavor of butter without the cholesterol. So I want 2 tablespoons, and this, I showed you my teaspoon, this is my tablespoon. It's close enough. So here's, 1, 2, okay. And get all that goodness out, yeah. Okay, and then, oh yeah. So remember that chicken flavoring, that little powder stuff, this stuff right here? We're gonna put 1/4 teaspoon in this. And I know that's not much, but the thing is, tortillas can be kind of bland. And I just like to have a little bit of flavor. This right here is just a tiny spoon. It's about a 1/2 teaspoonful. So if I get like half of this, I got 1/4. So here we go. I want to remind you that this stuff is very salty. So whenever you use this, you might not need to add salt. That's what I do. I just use that. Taste it and you'll know. Okay. Now we're gonna mix it. And you don't need to knead. Well, you might need to. Just to mix it. Maybe not. So, what we need here is 16 equal portions. So what I'm going to do is dump it here. And gather it all together. Little green thing. Oh, I need to take off my watch. Okay, gather it. And you can do this however you find it most easy. I like to kind of square it. It's easier to divide it evenly. Okay, so 16 is really not hard to do. So we've got, and if you have to walk away from this, wrap it in something airtight because it'll dry out. So let's do halves. That's about a half. And then do these halves. And then these halves. Whoops. I don't know if that's equal. Well, we'll see. Halves. 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 Okay. Each one of these is going to make 1 pupusa. I have 8 here, so we're going to have 8 pupusas, but we have to cut these not quite in half because we need a top and a bottom. And let me tell you, I am not from El Salvador. I am not a professional, and I am not going to do it the way those women do it, which is incredible. They do it all on their hands, but I got a little trick, you know, for us gringos. All right. So we got a ball. I'm going to cut it about in 1/3 and 2/3 because I want one side to be, you know, a little larger. So we're going to do that and keep them together so you know the two that go together. So I showed you the masa and water, but the only other thing is going to be queso fresco and refried beans. Now, I didn't used to use refried beans. You probably remember just the cheese, but I have this on hand and I thought, why not? I'll just put a little bit of that also in these. So I guess before I do this, I'm thinking maybe I'll go ahead and get the queso fresco ready. Yeah, I'll get the queso fresco and the refried beans ready to go. And I'll see you in a minute. Okay, let's finish this up. I'm going to get a piece of this. And I'll start with this one. Roll it into a round. Okay. And then this is the larger piece. See, here's the smaller one. So I'm going to roll this into about 6 or 8 inches in diameter. And you'll see that it's got some jagged edges. That is okay. So what we're going to do is go around and kind of clean that up and make sort of a ridge around the edges. This is the gringo way. Those women, actually I've never seen a man do it, but surely there must be some men who can do this. I want a little bit of a levy. Okay, so here, I'm gonna put some cheese in. You don't want a whole lot, but you want enough. Actually, I'm just gonna crumble it. Oh, maybe I should have put the beans on first. I think I'll try that next time. This time, just put a little, actually that's too much. Yes, I should have done that first. Anyway, there's that. Gonna get another piece of wax paper for the other half. Alrighty, here's the other half. Yeah, it doesn't roll very well. Falls apart. Here's this. You know what? I just had a thought. So I'll come back to this. So I got this griddle out, and if you have a griddle, that's great. If you don't, frying pan or something. Here's this griddle. I'm going to turn this on and let it get hot. And that way, I'm going to put it on medium high. That way I can cook them as I make them. So I'm going to do that. And I think if you have some spray oil, that's good. If you don't, just put a little bit on and, you know, move it around the griddle. So I'm going to get this ready. Okay, now, back to this pupusa making right there. I don't like the way this one's shaped. that little thing right there. But let's see if I can make this work. That's so thin. Put it on top there. Usually the first one doesn't turn out as good as the others. This is just not working. Okay. Come on, you. Too thin. Rats. I might cut this part. Because it's... Oh, I know. Where is my little tool? It's right here. Yeah, this is a really handy tool. I don't know where it came from, but it's very thin and it's not a sharp blade. So I'm just going to do this. Yeah, like that. And then like this. It takes some doing, but you can get it. And I'm going to just roll it out a little bit. And yeah, I know it's cracking and you can see some beans, but whatever. I'm gonna clean up those edges. Okay. Ha-ha. And let's go over here and put it down. Okay. Let it cook. All right. Now we're rocking and rolling. Let's hope that the next one comes out better. I want to be careful not to put too much filling. I think I'm going to keep this one a little bit smaller. All right, and we're going to go a little spoonful of beans. Okay, and queso fresco, crumble up. Okay, here's this. All right, let's see if that'll work. Okay, gonna use this. I haven't made these in quite a while. Maybe you can tell. Okay. So Anna, if you ever learn how to do this without a rolling pin, please teach me. Okay. I'm gonna go put this, well, now I'll bring you with me. Come on with me. Here we go. Another one. And now we need to flip this over. This first one. Ah, shoot. I'm not showing you. I guess it wasn't hot enough. It's okay. It's okay. Okay, so I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm gonna do that. Maybe I should try to do one just right before I, go do it myself. That's a bean. It's not a bad thing. I don't think I'm going to get a perfect one. Okay. A little bit of beans. Actually, I think maybe I should just put a little bit. Maybe I put too much in the other one. Now, maybe I should have just cut it in half. Ah, voila, that's good, that's good. Okay, c'est bon. Okay. Oh, why am I speaking French? And I'm making an El Salvadorian dish. I don't know. Can't say. Okay. Just do a little bit of this. Okay. Nice edges. And here we go. All right, let's go here. Here it is. Get another one there. Let's see if this one is ready. Not really. How about this one? No. All right, so I'm gonna cook it until it's light brown, even if I have to keep flipping it. But I'm not gonna make you watch every single thing I do. So I'm gonna finish these and then I'll show you the results. Are you ready? It's all done. Oh, and there's a cabinet open behind me. Okay, so here they are. I put them in the microwave without turning it on, just to keep them hot. And here are the pupusas. Well, what do we do with those? I know I never put the beans in them like I did today. Not when I was making them for you guys. But I think it'll be good. But you don't have to you don't have to add the beans. You can also add other things to your filling, like there was one I heard of with tomatoes and bacon. You know, you cook the bacon first, add tomatoes and stir it all together. or veggie bacon, of course, that's what we would have. Be creative. You can put anything you want to in there. Huh. Well, you can. Okay, I'm gonna show you how I put it together so it's so delicious. Now, let's look at this. You can see we have our pupusas, we have our curtido, and here, which you can't see, is the tomato sauce. I'm gonna get a little gravy ladle. So you put your pupusa down. I'm gonna put these back in the microwave so they stay hot. And then you okay. Then you put some of the curtido. I'm going to just stir it a little bit because, you know, the vinegar and water are on the bottom. So we're going to put some of this on top. Yum, yum, yum. And then sauce. And there it is. Pupusas. It smells so good. So if you make it, I hope it's fun for you. And I hope it's delicious, and I hope mine is too. So there you go. Another recipe.